Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So we're going to hang out with the Wisdom of the Cats and the Aquaria Magician's deck. I picked these yesterday. I was going to do a reading, but then I got busy and I had some things I needed to do. But what was my download? It was kind of interesting. I ended up wearing like my favorite shirt. So my favorite shirt is the one with like the panther on it, because anytime I love panthers. So the panther and the jaguar shirt. And then I picked up on Egyptian vibes, Egyptian kitties. I picked up on a little bit of starseed energy with the Larians. And anything else coming yesterday? That was kind of a long time ago. I should have recorded it then. No. But there's lots of cat energy. Fierceness coming through. So let's just shake up the energy and see what wants to come through. Okay, so we had like three kind of flippy out. So we have fear. We have in reverse, playtime. And then this was also in reverse, wake up and get started. Fear. Is there I don't know, doesn't matter. I was like, I noticed that they all kind of have like partnerships on it. Like there's two kitty cats on the fear, there's two playing in the fishbowl. No. So there's something in the past that has happened that has caused fear. Are those all the right ones? I don't know. Let me feel. Sorry, I actually have to physically feel these ones. That one goes with that one. They're the same colors, so oh no, they're a bit different. That one with that one, that one with that one. Okay, so this is the overall energy. We have in prisoner. So it's in reverse. How do we get out of this? How do we get out of this energy? So these are all flipped upside down, so I don't really know what's going to go on yet. So we have fear. What is there to be feared? We have destruction in reverse. So in the past, you thought that something was going to happen. You thought that something was going to come and destroy everything. In fact, on the outside, it may have seemed like everything was destroyed, that it was very bad. When I look at this, it's actually how you acted. You felt like your innocence or your joy or your happiness was destroyed, that darkness took over. But instead, what actually happened was I see the masculine and feminine we have within us, but we're going to tap into the feminine energy because that's actually the real energy I was tapping into lately, and I'm wearing orange. That makes sense. Yeah, because they kind of gave me the message, and I said in another video, they gave me the color sacral energy, and they showed me the dark feminine, and they said that there's going to be a lot of healing within this because there's been a lot of suppression. And so what has been suppressed more than anything is the dark side or the dark aspect of the feminine energy. So that's like anger and rage of the feminine form. So if you're a masculine, you have feminine, masculine both within you, same as feminine. But when it comes to the masculine energy, we can express that no problem, right? That's just like very forceful. But what does the dark feminine energy mean? And so I feel like that's what kind of came out. Something happened, you reacted away. You didn't want to go out and fight, but it created this thing in you. And so that's what I feel like, that's what I meant, like the innocence kind of gone. And this grew and grew and grew and grew. And so you saw it as like something got destroyed. Something within you cannot go back to the way it was. And that's kind of true. There was a destruction. But what they keep saying is that it wasn't destroyed. It was actually transformed. And I see a little bit of fear in that. And it's just the fear, or the negative part of this, is not embracing. Okay, so I see there's like two human legs here, but you can't recognize. It seems like this is like a demon or an animal or a monster. It was in reverse. And so whatever you see as like the part of yourself that you can't accept, that you don't love, right, fear's in the upright. This fear is healthy, but what I'm seeing is it's time to like embrace it. Give it a hug kind of thing. Rather than be like, it doesn't exist, la la la. I see these bandages as like compression. So you can have it keep things out and be like, no, I can't let this out. This isn't, or it could be a hug. I'm sorry you had to go through that. Let me embrace you. It's more of an embrace. And so in the next one, we have playtime. Playtime was in reverse. And look, there's something to do with the sacral. And two fishes. So the one to come with that is the weaver of creation. So the sacral chakra is all about creation, right? That's where the womb is. That's where you physically actually create things from the stars in the sky. But it's also where your creativity is. And so okay, so there's like a heart. I'm seeing the heart right there, and it's kind of by the sacral. Someone feeling like how they think and feel, and it's a dark feminine energy. And so maybe they're so used to being like the light and happy, but now there's like this fierce badass, and it's scary energy. Like people, I don't know, especially in some readings lately have all been about people pleaser. Nobody likes a people pleaser. And I think that's why that people pleaser got kind of pushed around and their world upside down and rocked. And it's like, this is the dark energy coming in to like protect, because I feel like something happened. They kept talking about innocence at the beginning. Something came to the innocence and like rocked it. It was like, we see this fool, they're naive. But then there's that shadow aspect, and that shadow is there too. The shadow can almost be like the ego as well. Look at the bottom of the deck for that one, they say. What do we got? We got inner sanctum. I feel like that there's this one part of you that is you whole. It's like this super bright light, and within it is as above, so below. So it's not quite the ego, because I see the ego as like, how are they showing me? We got higher self, we got inner child, we've got ego, there's so many aspects to yourself. So in this one, it's higher self and shadow, as above, so below. And so the below kind of energies are coming out. And as I was wearing my shirt yesterday, it was the panther one. It's the shadow aspect of things. And in Egypt, they're all about going into the underworld. We switched it up. Oh yeah, there was a shift and a pull or something that happened a couple weeks ago. And I thought that was kind of interesting and cool. No more insights to share about that. But we got Anubis. And that's all about going into the underworld and the souls going on to the next part of creation. Energy is never created nor destroyed. So to think that something has been destroyed, it can't be. It's just simply not a thing. What's that? It's a fear. So how can we take this thing that you see as a destruction, embrace it, love it, and add that creative energy to it so that we can bring back in more of the sacral, the creation aspect of it. So the playtime was in reverse. Why is it in reverse? Just a second. So when I looked at it, he's in the fishbowl. There's one here that's on the inside of it, and then there's one on the outside. Remember how we say we have all these aspects? It's almost like there's one, there's the ego. I also saw, because of orange sacral energy could have been like relationships, right? Sexual energy. And it's like giving to others. Not time for playing. It's time for you going within and cultivating your energy into what you want to create. Because I see this swing, right? As she goes, it creates this like this arc of beauty. So it could be a little bit of like Kundalini energy and like bringing that up through you. And then rather than outside of yourself, right? They always just don't want you to do. There is a time when things will manifest through you to the outside. But on the inside right now, I'm getting scared of who you are. People aren't going to accept you. People aren't going to like that mean black cat aspect of you, right? Golden retriever energy. But the golden retriever, I hate some images they give me, but I just saw like, you know, you're so nice and you're so loyal, and sometimes loyalty to a fault. I feel like this person was giving energy and playing around with energies that would keep kicking them when they're down. And so now this is the energy that they feel on the inside. And this image does look terrifying, right? There's like this skull. It almost seems like the head is not even attached to the body. It seems like the heart is in the sacral. And that's another thing. As the head was kind of detached, I got drawn to this fish, and it was his eye. And then they said something about the third eye. So with that head attached from the body, you're not seeing, you can't really tap into your intuition, because I feel like this one is so focused on this one. Like, pay attention to me, pay attention to me, love me, love me. And it's like, what do you, and this one's not even focused on that one. So if you're giving to something, like, I just see in that fishbowl, being stuck in that fishbowl, thinking like, I need this person to give me energy to validate who I am, to make me feel better about myself. And that is a fear. So we have wake up and get started. And that wake up was in reverse. So what card comes with it? We've got pure balance, and that was in reverse. And so what do we want to share about that? I did a reading this morning because I didn't want to do my morning routine, which is kind of funny. I did not want to wake up and get started. So that's what this is talking about. So now we're going to talk about the previous video I recorded that I'm not going to share, because some insights I really do believe were just for myself, but I think some of it was for the collective as well. So it was like breaking out of routine, breaking out of the norm, that kind of thing. And this was one of the cards that did come out as the final outcome. And ooh, this one also came with it, now that I think about it. I use these exact same two decks, but this is definitely a different story. Because I feel like in this one, there's still a little bit of needing to accept the dark feminine aspect of yourself. And you have to embrace that, because it means sometimes people aren't going to like you for who you are, and you're going to have to walk alone, and people are going to try and isolate you, and people are going to throw you into situations that aren't nice, aren't ideal, and they kind of like follow the group, right? There's a group mentality here. It said don't follow the group. Why? Because when you're following the group, you're stuck in this fear energy. And what do I want to share about that story? Because there's parts of that story that I don't 100%. Oh, I was being trapped in a box. What's on the bottom? Courage. And it's an orange kitty. So something to do with the sacral. It does take courage to embrace who you are. Especially if you're stuck in people-pleasing energy. Spirit really doesn't want you. If you're being guided to go within and you have this within you, we don't want you to pretend that that's not who you are. We want you to embrace that part, that rage, that whatever, But we also don't want you to stay there and sit there forever and be like, oh, this is just who I am. Because what's meant to happen is you're supposed to take this energy. This is a protective energy because something triggered a fear response in you. Because as you were in your pure balance and you're happy and your joy and those things, it seemed like as this partnership, people were putting you in a situation, a bubble, a something, and you're like, I want to be a part of this. And it's like, that's not the best place for you to learn from. So you remove yourself from that. You listen to what this is. Like, what is this heart telling you? At first, when I looked at it, the heart was in the sacral. But now that I look at it, the heart's actually in the root. It starts from the tail all the way up, and then it goes to the root, to the sacral, to the solar plexus, and then there's two here that are like the shoulders, and over here by the shoulders there's these wings that are meant to come out. And so the more and more you suppress this dark feminine anger, rage, it's so potent. If you don't tap into it into a creative way, it's going to turn into, it's going to stay that dark, scary energy and stay as fear. But you can face your fear, you can embrace your fears, love who you are, every aspect of it. And I'm hearing, I walk alone. What about that? Oh yeah, today's reading. Can't even remember what it was really about. But there was like a part where I doesn't matter. Who sings that song? It was all about being trapped in a box. And at some points, it's okay to be in the box because it was protective energy. Because everyone outside, oh, hey, there's a box. Maybe it's a bubble. Maybe it's a fishbowl. Maybe it's something. These fish should be in here. Like, there's something not right with this. This playtime is over. Because these fish, if you don't deal with it, they are going to die, right? That they need their water. And so this is kind of the energy that is still there. But I walk alone. Oleander. Hold up. We don't need to play it. Yeah, so I can't take this anymore. I'm pretty sure I've been here before. I won't heal until I'm strong enough to not be afraid of what anybody thinks, of what anybody says. Yes, about the way I am. I'll wait until the day when those feelings fade away. Then I'll make my break. I don't feel like any of those are part of this message right now. Guess you had to step away to make me want to be a bigger man. That's what I need you by my side. Yeah, sometimes you don't know what you have until it's gone. And so what do I see? I see something breaking, needing to be alone. And because of that, maybe it made you angry. Maybe it made you something. Made you face your fear. Maybe this is someone who deals with codependency and they're scared to be alone and they have to be part of the group and the cool kids and the whatnot. But in the end of all that, it was not balanced. So actually, most of the let me remember. Okay. So to start off in the Imprisoner, it's like that compression and holding. And so it could contain it and it could be like constricting and it could take away your breath and you can't breathe. Or you could find that balance, embrace it as a hug, and now it's no longer constricting. Now it's almost like a weighted blanket. That's a different shift in energy. We need to embrace that part of ourselves, that shadow aspect that we are scared of. The thing that is our fear is actually trying to like strengthen something. There's something that you're resisting, but the more and more, it takes more energy to resist it. and like not deal with it, because now you're stuck there forever in this energy. And eventually, we did some tests in school today. My friend's so funny. But we just had to like hold our arms up, and it had to do blah blah blah. Anyways, I think it was like 30 seconds we had to hold our arms. Turned out it was only supposed to be 20 seconds, but I made her do it for 30 seconds. She's like, is this almost over? And I was like, and then she's like, you made me do it even longer. And so you could do something so simple, right? Holding up your hands. And I feel like I'm like, hey, but holding up your hands. But eventually, the longer and longer, you're going to get fatigued. You're going to get tired. And over here, we have wake up and get started. Can't wake up because you're tired and fatigued. So the more and more you keep trying to avoid this destruction, this dark side of yourself, right? If you're a feminine, most people don't like being called a bitch. But guess what? That's your superpower. That's your strength on something. Because in future, people are going to like bug you and try and, right? But this, I feel like this needs to be stood up for. There's a third eye. Fish out of water. Something's not right. And so to actually like speak up in the moment when you see something that's not right or injustice, but you won't do it because you're scared people might turn on you, might attack you, might something. That's not a healthy energy to ever be in. You should not be scared of doing what's right, I'm hearing. So we go back to today's reading. And what about it? So there's that compression, that breaking out of the box, embracing who you are. There was a moment where you did need to go into the box because everyone outside was like throwing all this energy. It had a little bit to do with like gossip and slander and like, oh, look at them, they're so evil, that look at them, blah, blah, blah. And it's like kind of like rumors. But when you embrace that within you, you add that spark, that light, because it did have to do with the sun. Those who embrace the sun, do you know how powerful the sun is? Do you know how strong you need to be in order to deal with the sun? The sun is just not some little fairy light. Sorry, my fellow fairies, though with bad intentions there. They all of a sudden came in and was like, don't you? And I was like, we work together. But I'm talking about like, those like little tiny lights, like solar lights, those kind of things. That's what I almost see. But when you actually, the sun, the power of it, you need to embrace both sides of it. Especially when it comes to Sekhmet. Any cat is not going to let you walk all over them. They're going to do what they want, when they want, and don't tell me what to do. Except for Beauty, she's so sweet and kind and loving. She's like the sensitive one of it. She gives me? Like piglet energy. And like, oh dear. And then my other cat, Mr. Monster, is just like, get out of the way. And so I feel like that there's both of these. There's like that sweet side, that other side. You need to embrace both of them together. That's why they're the yin yang kitties. But in here, there was the sun in the heart. Oh, the heart is also here in the sacral. It starts with something to do with the tail. We obviously don't have tails, so what do you want me? Oh, tail is old as time. Do you know how many times the people, anytime you stand up for yourself, they try to paint you as, oh, they're irrational, they're hysteria. Especially in the olden days, like anytime someone, like if a masculine energy just wanted to get rid of his wife, he would just go to a doctor and be like, she's hysteric. And then they would do awful surgeries. I don't know why this keeps coming up. Maybe there's so many past life wounds that we're not even quite sure of why we're dealing with things now, because we don't deal with that stuff. That stuff doesn't exist. But in our souls, in our cells, in all this, it's just coming up and out to be released. And so, tail, that's what they'll do. When you don't agree, when you're not in your nice, sweet energy, they're going to spin the tail in the narrative and make it, oh, they're crazy, although this, although that, but it's not true. And so in the past, it kind of worked that way. but there's a need to be a little bit emotionally stable and intelligent about it. Flip the script and turn it, not darkness to light, but the darkness into bold and vibrant. There's a need because it wasn't balanced. You need to embrace that part of you that you deny about yourself. Again, it's your super strength, it's your gift, it's what makes you unfuckwithable. It makes it so that you don't care what other people think. I almost, like, I heard, where did I hear it? They said 2 of the most honest people are toddlers and seniors, because toddlers are so pure and innocent, they don't care. Like, they're just like, I just watched yesterday, there was a free movie at the movie theater, and because it's Black History Month, they played The Pursuit of Happiness. And so I'm seeing the scene where, like, Will Smith's character, he's kind of lying because he needs to get ahead and pretend that he's just as rich and, like, bumping elbows with all them so that he can try and manage their money. So he's like, we're gonna possibly go to the football game. And so they get into the car, and he's like, we don't have a car. And he's just like, woo, right? Because little kids are like, just tell the truth. Like, just say it. Like, but they don't really see all that other part. And then as seniors, they're gonna tell the truth because they're like, you know what? As my adult life, my teenage, adult, middle age, whatever, we try so hard to impress everybody outside of ourselves that they're like, if I could go back in time, I wouldn't give a damn. I would have just been who I was authentically and loved and embraced all parts of myself. And you know what? Part of me, like, because I love water, Aquarius, water baby. At the swimming pool, I just wish they weren't that confident, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, as you get older, you embrace yourself. You love yourself for every part. And so in this, it's like, we want you to do that a little bit sooner than needing to be into old age. We want you to do it now. We want to love who you are, embrace who you are, especially that part that you're really suppressing. Who cares if they call you a bitch or an asshole or whatever word it is? Is it true? No, it's just their insecurities, they're saying. I feel like I need to pull one more card each and then we can wrap it up. I made a mess. Perfect. I got chills. I super got chills. And pretty much what it's saying is we really want you to take your fear, wrap it up in a hug. We don't want you to suppress it. We want you to embrace it. So let me show you the 2 cards that came out. It says the gift of giving, and it was in the reverse. And I see that almost like giving is more of the light. Reverse would be under. So they're embracing each other. There's a need to blend it, right? Your yin yang kitties. Here we got a different pair of yin yang kitties. Where's its face even? It's in there. It's just smushed. And so there's the light that is, I see like the heart there, and protecting. This one protects this one's innocence, and this one gives this one like courage to go out and play. Because you should be able to go and play, but if you don't have it in nice balance, then you're going to be a little bit in this energy, and you're going to be suspicious and all these things. But then the last one we pulled for the other one was the fate holder, which is a hug. We need you to love and embrace all aspects of yourself, especially the part that you think is not worthy of seeing the light of day. Because again, it might seem scary, it might be fearful, but what it is your strength. It's something that is going to stabilize things more for you. And then I see it almost like, okay, what am I seeing? Like here's you in your now, and it's like, it's unstable, right? We had this not in the balance. And then, oh, this is a perfect card to help with that. And then I see it as like to the next one, swinging up to the next one. So you finally embrace this one and it stabilizes it. So now you can swing on to the next one. And what do I mean by this to this? I see that almost as pillars. You know, like a video game and you keep playing and you have like a level that you have to beat and then you get past that checkpoint. It's almost like a checkpoint. So like, you know, you don't slide back into such old patterns, especially as I said, something happened in the past that's like in our cells. It's almost like a new life, and then we start the adventure again. And if we can get past this one thing, that is like, it has to do with embracing your emotions. There's something to do with emotional stability that brings you to the next checkpoint. You get to that checkpoint and now you can continue on from there each time. So you digress a bit. You're not going to go all the way back to the other. And that's what it's like, a pattern. It could be a family pattern, a generational pattern, we'll say, or it could be something within you that's a pattern. But embracing this fear is actually like a checkpoint that's going to bring you more stability, because there's that heart in the tail. The tail is old as time. Redo and redo and redo. Start the game over. Start the game over. Same, especially generational trauma or something. It's a new character, redo, redo. Or if it's your same pattern and lesson, it could almost be like could be an addiction. It could be, but what I'm getting is like, it's an emotional pattern that keeps playing out. This happens and then I get triggered and then I act this way. And I don't want to act this way, because in this way I'm like yelling and I'm angry and I'm this and I destroy everything and I self-sabotage and then I gotta start all over again. And then so now it's like having the tools and the something that like things come at you and you're like, bloop. I'm in this bubble. Bloop. It doesn't bug me. It's like, okay, let it go. Next one. Because the underworld, dark side, dark feminine energy. Because again, I see like the dark masculine energy. That's something that's just like, war, you know? Whereas this one's just like, fuck off. Black cat energy. Don't even. That's the type energy kind of coming through. And then I see like, once you have that, just a little bit, you just have to embrace it a little bit. It doesn't even need to be like the whole identity of you. It's just a smidge, just a tinge. You can still be your light, fun, happy self, but we need you to have better boundaries and those kind of things. Embrace it. It's your strength. So with that, we'll leave you. With that, we'll leave it there. I hope you have a good day. And we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.